Welcome to Bike Garage. My name is Jeff Millinson. I'm going to be teaching you how to do basic bike repair and maintenance, mountain or road bike. All the stuff on the video is very up to date and easy to follow. The DVD is very interactive, so you can watch and teach yourself what you want. And even if you're not mechanically inclined, if you're patient and confident, you'll do okay. Who knows, you might start to enjoy bike mechanics. To get started, of course, you're going to need some tools. Now, for under $100, you can get yourself pretty set up with a toolkit with almost everything you need. If you're not into getting too dirty, you can pick up some nitrile gloves, keep your hands clean. Next thing we're going to need is some lubricants and cleaners. Recommend to get some dry lube for your chain. Maybe pick up some light oil for your components. You're going to need some grease and some solvent or cleaner. WD-40 does work as a solvent. You can also pick up some stuff at the automotive store for pretty cheap and mix it up. And some medium strength Loctite would be a good thing to have. Small parts washers such as this make it a lot easier to clean parts with. You can pick them up fairly cheap. I got this one at a garage sale for about $40. You can save your old toothbrushes and use them in the solvent tank. You don't absolutely have to have a bike stand like this, but it'll definitely make things easier. A wheel truing stand is another good tool to have. You can also true your wheels in your bike, just turn your bike upside down. Once you've got your shop all set up, now it's time to get wrenching. A clean and well-maintained bike will run smoother and last a lot longer, and a poorly adjusted bike can be pretty dangerous. Modern bikes today seem like they're more sophisticated, and technology is a little more sophisticated, but all the logical principles have always been the same, road or mountain bikes. When purchasing a new bike or new parts, be sure to hang on to the manuals. They hold important information such as the torque specs and compatibility specs. It's a good idea to periodically check your bike over, especially before any big rides. First thing I would look at is the tires and tubes. You want to make sure that the tires aren't worn out. A worn tire will start to build a kind of a ridge on the side, causing it to be unsafe. So the tire should have somewhat of a round profile to it. You should run the recommended air pressure range that's written on the side of the tire. And make sure to check the valve stem, make sure it's not damaged, and please replace any tires that are damaged. A bike has 4 major bearing surfaces. 2 of them are located in the center of the wheel, known as the hub. And to check your hub bearings, you're going to grab part of the frame and grab the wheel and rock it back and forth, and you shouldn't feel any play at all. The next major bearing surface is in between your crank arms, and you can't actually see these bearings, but they definitely over time wear out. You're going to grab the crank arm and a part of the frame and rock the crank back and forth just like you did the wheel. You shouldn't feel any play. Sometimes I'll check it in a couple different spots. Next, you're going to check the headset. Headset is what the steering rides on. There's a bearing on the top and a bearing on the bottom. Over time it can become loose. You can smack the wheel real hard. Sometimes you can feel a little play. Go ahead and give the brakes a good squeeze. You're checking the tightness of the cable and making sure the lever doesn't hit the grip. Go ahead and inspect the brake pads. Look for any worn out pads. Replace them if necessary. Next, go ahead and spin through the gears. Check to see that everything shifts. Make sure that the chain doesn't fall off. Check all the cable and housing. Look for any cracked housing or any cables that are starting to fray. Check the drivetrain. Should be fairly clean. The chain should be well lubricated. Check all the quick release levers on your wheels or axle nuts. Make sure they're tight. The last thing I'd check is all the nuts and bolts. Make sure everything is properly tightened. To wash your bike, you're going to need a brush to clean your gears, a sponge to clean the frame. You can pick up some degreaser at the bike shop or the local automotive store, and a bucket to mix up some soapy water. First, take the degreaser and coat the drivetrain real well. Make sure to get all of the chain, get the derailleurs, get the crank set real well, and take your brush and you're just going to want to scrub the gears real well. Also get the chain real good. Scrub the derailleurs. Anywhere where you really see some grease and grime. Now take some soapy water and wipe the frame down. And rinse. And anytime you wash your bike, you should really go back and lube everything. Nail polish works pretty good for touch-up paint, especially if you've got a really awkward color. You can take a little bit of Pledge or furniture polish and shine her up. There's all kinds of different pedals out there. Fortunately, they all install and remove the same way. You're going to need a pedal wrench, and there are a few models out there, however, that you're going to just use an Allen wrench. I'm going to first remove the right pedal. The right pedal is a regular thread. You're going to turn it to the left to loosen. Now I'm going to remove the left or non-drive side pedal. However, keep in mind that it is actually a reverse thread. Now before you go and install the pedals, you want to make sure you want to grease the pedal threads real well. The drive side pedal installs to the right, and if you're not sure which pedal is which, they are actually marked right and left. Install the non-drive side or the left pedal. Remember, you're going to go turn it to the left to install. Once you've got both pedals installed, go ahead and make sure that they're both tight.